Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Yoga Journey 108's live Flow Together Wednesdays. Today's going to be a little more chill than some of our previous vinyasa classes. And so I hope you're here and get something out of it. We are going to start seated. So go ahead and find a nice, comfortable sukhasana. Find your sit bones. And so the spine grow long. Tuck the chin gently. Come into your breath. Let that be your touchstone. Your touchstone into the space and your touchstone into the moment. Soften yourself around that breath. Take in what you're feeling right now. Your weight against the earth, your clothes against the skin. The ride of the breath in and out of your body. The sounds that filter in from outside. The ambient sounds of your room. Just come into that explorer's mind. You might have heard it as beginner's mind. Just marvel at where you are. Think of all the things that had happened from the Big Bang to have you arrive right now. It's pretty amazing. And we sometimes get disconnected from that wonder. We're here to flow, so let's go ahead and flow around that space, that center we created for ourselves. Gently rolling the rib cage around. Try to keep the head nice and level, like you're holding on, like you're resting a teacup up there. And we can coordinate the breath by inhaling as we come around forward and exhaling as we come around back. Next time we come around to the front, we'll switch sides. And exhale as we move back around. Feel the roll across the sits bones. And let's zero on in. Hands in front of the knees so we can pull our chest forward between the upper arms. Draw the shoulder heads back. So the outside of the shoulders roll back. We just lift the chin a bit. Don't release the head. Just lift the chin. And as we exhale, pull the navel in. Rock back onto the tailbone. Tuck the chin. Inhale, lift the heart. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, pull in all around the core. Core leads the exhale. The chest leads the inhale in the seated cat-cow. And this next inhale, we'll lift the heart. Let's take an extra breath, pulling the shoulders back. And release. Beautiful. Okay, let's inhale the arms nice and wide. And as we exhale, we're going to cross right over left. We're going to take a hold of the shoulder heads and just gently pull them down. We're not going to tuck the chin, but not down. We're going to tuck the chin in. And feel how that helps the back of the head grow long, the back of the neck grow long. Can you connect with that? Can you feel that? Next inhale, let's reach out nice and wide. Lift the chin. Exhale, this time right goes over left. And we pull the shoulders down and we draw the back of the head in line with the spine. Yes, you may get a couple extra chins here, but we're at home. It's no big deal. You don't have to worry about our external. We're going to focus on our internals. How does this feel? And let's inhale the arms out nice and wide. As we exhale, we're going to tip on over to the right side. Let's keep the hand in line with the hips. Reach up, up, up with the left hand. And then just relax the elbow. And we're going to take some shoulder circles back, arm circles back. Keep that elbow nice and loose. We're really focusing on what's going on in that shoulder joint. If it feels good for the neck, we can start to lean the right ear down toward the right shoulder, creating more space in the left side, the cervical spine. And that might change the way the arm moves, and that's okay. And next inhale, let's sweep it up. Reach it long. Press the left sit bone back into the ground. Next inhale, we'll rise. And as we exhale, we'll slide down the other way. Again, loosen this top arm, loosen this right arm. And start to make some circles in through the joint. Find that feeling as we move through our range of motion. If it feels okay for the neck, we're sliding the ear close to the left shoulder and just notice how that changes our rotation in the joint. And next inhale, we'll sweep it long. Again, press the right sit bone because it likes to follow. Get as long as you can from right hip to right fingertips. Next inhale, we'll rise. As we exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So left hand goes to the right knee, and we're just going to reach out with this right hand. Okay. Inhale here. And exhale, we're going to curl back, and as the right fingers touch the left shoulder, we're just going to give a little gentle press down. We're going to look down at those fingers. Inhale to open up. So track the right thumb with your gaze. Exhale. Give the little shoulder a little bit of a nudge downward. Inhale to open. Exhale, curl back. Inhale, open. Let's hold here. Breathe long through the spine. As we exhale, we'll set the fingertips at the base of the spine and just kind of work to get the left ribs around. Just kind of have that. We're not forcing it. We're just kind of, okay, left ribs. Move it around here. And then breathe into them. And next inhale, we'll lift up. And as we exhale, we're going to twist the other way. To the left this time. Let's reach out with the left hand. And as we exhale, we'll curl that hand over to the right shoulder and we'll just kind of give it a little nudge downward. And our chin is, or our gaze is at our fingernails. Inhale, open. Maybe we can look at the thumb. Exhale, curl. Next, inhale, we'll hold. Little attention to the outer right ribs. And even if they don't move, just having your attention settle in a place that it doesn't normally settle. Connecting with that space. Checking in. What's it doing over there? Okay, our left hand is going to settle at the base of the spine, fingers on tented the fingers so we can press up tall as we twist. And the idea of having the fingers tented behind the spine is to kind of get that ringing sensation, that elongating as we twist. One more breath here. And exhale, release the center. And let's let our arms come out to cactus arms. Release the shoulders down. Inhale here. And as we exhale, pull the elbows together, tuck the chin into that notch at the bottom of the throat. So we're looking to stretch the trapezius. Inhale, open, let the thumbs move behind the body. Space across the chest. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, open. Palms are facing the head. Exhale, curl in. Let's stay here. The spine is nice and tall. It's just the chin that's tucked. Shoulders are rolled forward. Also pressing downward. Breathe into the space. Breathe into that trapezius muscle. Very complicated muscle, that one. It's got neck, shoulder, upper back. Covers a big range. And next inhale, we'll open up. Fingers rest on the shoulders. Let's take some circles with the elbows. So as we inhale, elbows come together, reach up at the top of the breath. And as we exhale, pull the shoulders behind, the elbows behind the body, and at the bottom, give our shoulders a little nudge down. Let's make sure our chin is not flying away. Keep nice and neutral. And as we exhale, we're going to release the fingers, tent the fingers behind the hips, keep the shoulders rolled back, press into the fingers, lift the heart. Shoulder blades are supporting the heart from behind. One more breath here. And exhale, release. We are going to roll right down onto our backs. Just ignite the core. So as we come down, let's bring the knees into the chest. We can roll the knees around. Because we were sitting a bit and we were in flexion, we're going to do some rainbow bridges. So let's set the heels close to the hips, knees up to the sky. Let's snuggle the shoulder blades under the chest, under the heart. As we inhale, we're going to press, or let's take a nice big inhale, and as we exhale, press the navel into the ground. So the lower back presses into the ground, but the tailbone lifts. And let's keep that going as we lift up. And as we exhale, let's zip the spine. So even come up onto the toes. So we make sure the sacrum comes down last. Okay. Rise up. Move on the exhale. Nice big inhale. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, lift it up. And exhale down. We'll exhale to move. As the action of the navel comes in, we can unzip the spine from the ground. And take a breath in here. And as we exhale, we lift up onto the toes so we can curl the spine into the ground. Okay, let's make sure we're tucking the chin. So let's lift the chin first so you get the feeling of this. So the chin is lifted to the sky. Now notice as we press the chin in, see how the back of the skull kind of slides back toward the top of the mat here? That's the length we want. So go ahead and feel no wrinkles in the back of the neck at all. Beautiful. Let's bring the knees into the chest. You have the option to keep your head on the ground or to lift the forehead toward the knees. This is our exhale. And as we inhale, we're going to blossom open. You can keep the head up or release it back down. And as we exhale, pull the navel in and the limbs just kind of curl around the navel. Inhale to open, hover the heels. Let's keep the shoulder heads off the ground if we can. Just feel through this whole range of motion. We'll do 2 more. On this one, as we hug in, let's release the head, sway the chin from side to side. Again, find the chin, snuggle the chin in toward the throat. Just gonna roll around the sacrum a bit. I'm gonna have to scoot away from the window here for this next one. Let's stretch out nice and long. And we're gonna bring the arms to a T, palms face down. As we inhale, we're gonna bring the left leg up. As we exhale, it's going to reach across. I'm going to keep both shoulders on the ground. Maybe we tap the ground with our toe. Inhale back up. And exhale, left foot comes down. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, reach it across. Tap the ground. If you can keep the leg straight, please do so. If not, you can have a slight bend. That's no problem. And exhale down. Inhale, reach it up toward the sky. Exhale, reach it out to the right. Inhale, left leg up. And exhale down, right leg. Inhale. And exhale. Roll onto that outer left hip. Inhale. Explore the full range of motion. We tend to get very fixated on where we end up. We miss a lot of the joy of what's going on as we get there in the transitions. And last one. And release. Let's go ahead and gather those knees into the chest. Let's let the knees be separated. I'm just going to sway from side to side, roll across the sacrum. We'll bring the knees together. And we're going to rock and roll our way up to our hands and knees. So take a few rolls to get there, massaging the spine. Keep the chin tucked. And we've got enough momentum that you can hop back into your tabletop. If flowing over the ankles doesn't work for you, then just curl to the side and we'll all end up in tabletop. Let's keep our toes flexed for now. Wake up the arches of the feet. Drop the belly, pull the chest through the upper arms as we look up. Exhale, lead with the navel. Curl the spine, release the crown of the head. And we'll come back to neutral. We're going to inhale the left leg back. Yeah, we're starting with the left leg. Flex a toe toward the ground. And we're going to actually settle the toe on the ground. Press back into the heel. And press back so much that the right knee comes off the ground. Press back so much more that we come all the way up into a variation of a three-legged down dog. And press the ribs into the right thigh. So I'm not mirroring you here. I'm doing the same leg as you. Okay, adding on our inhale, we're going to inhale the right leg because it's free. Right on up, stack the hips. As we exhale, we're going to bend the heel toward the bum. Inhale to straighten on up. Exhale, we're going to come into a three-legged plank. Knee comes into the chest. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, bend. Let the weight of the right foot open up the right hip. Knee reaches to the sky. Inhale, reach the toe up to the sky. And exhale, curl it into the chest. Three-legged down dog, or three-legged plank. One more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee into the chest. Now let's bring the knee all the way forward. And we're going to come into a lunge with on the right leg. Release the back toes. Actually, tuck the back toes and scoot the left knee back. So we have lots of space in that hip flexor. That's one of the things that gets foreshortened when we are spending a lot of time at our desk. So let's sit here. Our hand is on both sides of the right foot. Now roll the left hip in toward the ground. Kind of lean to the left. You can actually free up the right hand. Feel that in the hip flexor? That's what we're looking for. Let's inhale, offer our heart forward. As we exhale, we're going to shift back into a half Unamun. Let's keep the rib cage attached to the thigh. So if by pulling back too far, the rib cage comes up, then stop where the rib cage still stays on the leg. So inhale forward, exhale back as far as you can without lifting the rib cage from the thigh. Inhale forward. Exhale again. Let's shift our mind into the transitions. Let's appreciate our transitions, the space between our poses. We have a week and a half left of spring. Spring is all about the transition between extremes, just like fall is. So on this next exhale, we're going to hang out here. And cycle of breath. Our held inhale, when we're full and we're fully inward, that's winter. And the exhale is spring. Then being the breath completely out represents summer. And then the transition between those extremes back to winter is our inhale. Fall is our inhale. Imagine what breathing would be like if we only had the extremes, empty and full. Just instant switch between empty and full. Next inhale, we'll ride forward. Let's rise on up with our hands. And as we exhale, palms are going to come together and bring the hands to heart center. Yeah, let's try to square our shoulders up over our hips. We're going to bloom our breath. So let's tuck the chin. Take a nice big inhale, like we're in within. And let's blossom out with our exhale. Arms swing around. Gather to the center. Inhale. Exhale. Blossom. Open up to the world. Inhale to come back in. This time, as we circle the arms around, we're going to bring the hands back toward the sacrum. Press the hips forward and down. We want the hips nice and square. We're going to press them forward and down. Pull the shoulder heads back. Lift the heart. If we can, we're going to squeeze the elbows behind us. Our next inhale, we will reach up. Exhale, hands come down to either side of the right foot. Tuck the back toes. Send the right foot up and back. And as we exhale, we'll come into a three-legged plank, into a three-legged push-up. Release, come into our up dog or cobra. Exhale, back to down dog. Feel out the legs, feel out the body. Sway the chin. Any little wiggles that want to come out, any little releases. As we inhale, let's ripple into plank and lower the knees. So we're back into tabletop. We're going to inhale the right leg back, flex the toes strongly. Let's make sure everything's nice and square to begin. Let's check in with our hands. We're going to grab into the mat with our finger pads so that we have a little bit of a space at the base of the palm. We're not jamming our wrists. Okay, now we're going to set the right toes onto the ground. Now we're going to push back into the right heel. Now we're going to push back into the right heel so much that we lift the left knee. Just a little bit. Focusing on the back of the leg. Notice how the stretch shifts when you press into the ball of the big toe versus when you put more weight into the little toe side of the right foot. Okay, now we're going to come all the way up into our three-legged downward dog variation. So push the lower ribs toward the left thigh. Tailbone reaches up to the sky. Right heel keeps sinking toward the ground. All right, on our next inhale, we're going to reach up with that left leg, stack the hips. As we exhale, left foot's going to bend toward the glutes. So we can take a peek at the toes. Inhale straight up. Exhale, bring that knee into the chest, three-legged plank. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, reach. And exhale, curl in. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bend, knee keeps pointing to the sky. Inhale up. And exhale in. Take an extra breath here, and we're going to step forward with the left foot. Lower down on the right. Tuck the back toes so we can scoot the right knee back as far as we can. Set up nice and strong here, and then roll the right hip into the ground. We're rolling the right hip into the ground so much that more of the weight is going into the right hand. We can free up the left hand. So much weight is rolling into the right side of the pelvis. Actually, take a peek. Check in with the left hip, because if the left hip is swinging out toward the left, then we're not gonna target the hip flexor as much as we'd like. So let's hug the left hip in as we roll the right hip down. Okay, now let's level things out again. Both hands to the ground. Let's offer the heart forward. Your hands can be on blocks too. Exhale to shift back only as far as the rib cage can stay connected to the thigh. Inhale to come forward. If that means you're stopping here, that means you're stopping here, and that's fine. Inhale, come forward. Attention to the transitions. Happens in the space between extremes. Next exhale, we'll hold for a bit. Let's nudge the right knee forward as we pull the left heel back. Feel the hamstrings responding to that shift. Crown of the head moving forward. Our next inhale, we'll come into our lunge. Make sure that the ankle's under the knee. Everything's nice and aligned, and we'll reach up on our inhale. And next exhale, palms come together. Settle the thumbs on heart center. Take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, open out. Inhale, come back in. This time as the hands come down, we'll interlace them behind. Oh, not interlace. We're going to press the palms into the sacrum. If the fingers are turned out, that's fine. But if you can get them pointed up toward the shoulders, let's make sure the hips are nice and square. And we're going to use our hands to slide down and forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Pull the elbows behind you. Look up. And next inhale, we'll reach. Exhale, hands to the ground. Tuck the back toe. Sweep that left leg all the way up. And as we exhale, level out into plank, lower down into chaturanga. You can inhale to up dog or cobra. Hips and legs can stay on the ground for cobra. Exhale back down to down dog. Let's take a little walk to the top of the mat. Feet under hips, or heels under hips, and let's hang heavy. Release the hands. Give them a little wrist rolls as we hang here. Head is reaching for the ground. Ideally, we're looking not at our toes, but through the space between our lower legs, between the calves to the back of the room. Sway the chin from side to side. Soften the feet, draw the navel away from the thighs. We're going to roll on up to stand. Shoulders go back, and the head comes up last. And a little interlude. We're going to inhale the shoulders right on up to the ears. And as we exhale, we're just going to drop them down. So it's going to be a little bit fast. We're going to do a little breath of fire-ish. So it's going to be... Actually, that's not breath of fire. That's Bhastrika. So Bhastrika breathing. So it's a vigorous inhale, vigorous exhale, same length. So as we exhale through the nose, we're kind of throwing our shoulders down. You can go a little faster. 3, 2, and 1. Let's inhale the shoulders up. And now as we exhale through the mouth, let's roll them back and down. Tuck the chin in. Get the back of the neck nice and long. Let's do that again. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, roll it back and down. Last one, inhale. And exhale down. Let's get any wiggles out. You need to get it out. Settle into our mountain. Or move into our next into our standing sequence. Again, let's just gently draw the chin in. Let's feel the length in the back of the neck. We spend so much time with our chin jutted forward here. I'm kind of folding our neck back here. So pull the neck in, grow the neck long, lift that little bulge in the back of the skull upward. You know, it's not Audrey Hepburn. She has that beautiful swan neck, but it also is kind of canting forward. So let's get in line. Let's keep everything aligned. And we'll begin our flow. Or vinyasa. Let's inhale to lift. Exhale to lead with the heart as we swan dive down. Inhale, flat back, pressing into the shins of the floor. Exhale, fold all the way. Oh, no, not step back, go with the right. Let's step or hop back into plank. Elbows soft. And as we exhale, tricep push-up. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, back to down dog. We're going to inhale the right leg up, straight up and back. So we're not stacking the hip this time. We're going to roll the toes toward the ground. Roll the outer right hip toward the ground so it's level with the left. Okay, reach up through the heel. And as we exhale, let's bring it forward. Let's stay up on that back toes, and we'll rise up into our crescent lunge. Find your balance. Bring palms together. Exhale, hands come behind the head. So the thumb is at that bone that joins the cervical spine and the thoracic spine. That means upper back and neck. And let's lean into our wrists. Now on our inhale, we're going to straighten the front leg and reach up with our fingers. As we exhale, come back into our crescent lunge. Inhale to lift. Exhale, one more inhale, straighten both legs straight. Still lifting that left heel. And exhale, come on back. Lean back a little more into the wrists. Next inhale, we're gonna lift up. Find your balance, and we're gonna open up to wide legs. Turn the toes out. Okay. And as we exhale, we'll come into goddess, but we're gonna set the hands onto the knees. I love this one. So our hands are gonna guiding the knees to go in the same direction as the toes. Let's press the spine long. And as we exhale, pull the shoulder heads back, lead with the heart as we dive forward. Inhale, draw in through the navel, stack the spine, head comes up last. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, lift. Exhale. And inhale, come all the way up. Turn the left toes out, so you'll be facing the back of the mat. Turn the left toes out, and we'll slide into a warrior two. Find a nice strong warrior two. Weight pressing on the outside of the right foot. Left knee tending toward the little toe side of the foot. Okay, let's inhale to rise. As we exhale, we're going to come into our side angle. We can slide the left hand down toward the ankle. And then we're going to release this arm again, and we're just to make our little circles. Inhale, bring it, swing around. Exhale to release. Inhale. And as we exhale to release, we're going to curl that hand around behind. Maybe we get the thigh. And once we get the thigh, we're going to pull the hips back, and we're right into our triangle variation. Trikonasana variation. Let's lean the shoulders back so that we're nice and square over that front leg. Now let's release the hand, reach it up. In fact, let's reach the fingertips far away from the hip. Really extend our Utthita Trikonasana. Let's inhale to rise. Turn both toes in. Inhale nice and wide, and exhale, swan dive. Hands are going to come under the shoulders. Okay. Toes are slightly pigeon-toed. And if it's not easy to get hands to the ground with a flat back, then go ahead and stick some blocks under your hands. Okay, now I will start to marry you. We're going to set the left hand under the face. And then as we inhale, we're going to sweep this right hand up the arm, across the chest. Stack the shoulders and reach up. Now on an exhale, we're going to turn the palm toward the front of the room, away from us, and reach out overhead to circle it around and down. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So as we inhale, sweep the left fingers up the arm, across the body, and reach up. As we exhale, palm's going to pivot forward, and we're going to circle the arm around and down. Inhale, so let's do that with the breath. So inhale, sweep it up, almost like we're pulling a bow. Exhale, circle it forward and down. Inhale. See how the weight shifts into the outer blade of the opposite foot. And circle around and down. Take a nice big inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to walk the hands back. Head, if the head hits the floor, heel toe. So we got space to grow long through the spine against gravity. Let's keep our arms bent at 90 degrees and keep the shoulders and elbows and wrists all in the same plane. Let's drop the weight toward the toes. Again, if the head hits the ground, let's scoot it in. Toes stay slightly pigeon-toed. Weight presses through the outer edges of the feet. Finish your next exhale. Let's inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale to rise all the way up. And we're going to turn toward the front of the mat over the right leg. So I'm going to switch around here. So turn the right toes out. We're facing the front of the mat. We windmill it down and take a vinyasa. Exhale, tricep push-up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale to down dog. Explore your hands. The fingers grabbing onto the mat. Explore the strength rising up through the arms. Explore the inhale rippling along the spine to lift the tailbone even more. Explore the exhale as you sink the heels into gravity. And we're going to inhale the left leg up. So lifting through the heel and we're not stacking. So lift through the heel. So roll the inner thighs together as we press up through the heel. Roll the outer left thigh down. And as we exhale, we'll bring that foot to the top of the mat. Stay up high on the back heel. And we'll rise into our crescent lunge. Just make sure that the hips are nice and square, just like they were in our three-legged dog. Palms come together. Thumb rests on the back of the bottom of the neck. And we settle our head into our wrists. Okay, let's find our balance. Let's challenge our balance. As we inhale, straighten the left leg, reach up with the fingers. Exhale back into crescent lunge. Press back through the right heel. Inhale, we can look straight ahead. As we exhale, we look up. Let's do one more. And hang out. Okay, next inhale, we lift. And we open out to the side. Keep the toes turned out. Let's settle into our goddess pose. Release the hands to the thighs. Again, we're kind of helping the knees go out in the same direction as the toes. Press into the knees too to lift the heart. And as we exhale, we're just going to drop I'll mirror you, right shoulder into the middle. And as we roll the shoulder down, we're going to push the knee away. and look up over our left shoulder. Inhale to come up, press the spine long. Exhale, drop the left shoulder, look over the right. So it's a bit of a twist. Well, it is a twist. And we're also working in through the hips. One more each side. Enjoy the sensations in your legs and your torso and your arm. And as we come on up, we go, ah. We're going to turn the right toes out. Let's turn the left toes in. And we'll slide into our warrior two on the right side toward the back of your mat. Okay? Let's make sure our shoulders stay over our hips and we're not reaching far forward. Let's find the core. Neutralize the pelvis as much as possible. It's going to be canted a little bit forward, but let's try to keep it close to neutral. As we inhale, we're going to reach up. Exalted warrior. And as we exhale, we're going to slide down toward the right ankle. If coming toward the right ankle is not working out, we can just rest the elbow. So don't feel like you have to come all the way down. Lower, sink the hips. And we'll circle that arm around. Exploring the range of motion. Okay, next time we come around, we're going to sneak I'm not marrying anymore. Okay, we're just going to sneak the left hand into the right hip, and we're going to pull that right hip back into our Trikonasana over the right leg. Let's lean our shoulders back so that we're square. And you can have a block here. You can be higher up. We're trying to keep length through the right side body. Okay, so we're not curving into the right side body. We keep growing long with the spine. And let's release the left hand. Reach overhead. Try to get as far away with the left fingers from the left hip. And we will inhale all the way up. We'll turn both toes in. Interlace the fingers behind the spine. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Lift the heart. Lead with the heart as we fold. We keep pulling our knuckles away from the body to keep space to the chest. Roll the weight into the outer blades of the feet. There's a little bit of lift on the inner arches. Maybe we can just kind of roll some of that weight toward the toes. On the next exhale, let's bring the hands to the sacrum and then melt them down to the floor. Okay, we're going to start to go heel toe, heel toe, heel toe as far apart as we can. And take an extra breath here, wherever you are. And then we're going to roll back to seated. Make sure the legs are nice. No, they don't have to be nice and wide, but just have them separated. Have the legs separated. Okay, we're going to take I will start mirroring you again. Right hand in front of the body, left hand tented behind the body. Roll the left shoulder open and we twist toward the left side. Let's keep the toes reaching up for the sky. Inhale to rise. And exhale, twist the other way. One hand straight out in front. The other hand close to the sacrum. Roll the shoulder open because it likes to kind of cave in. So let's really make the effort to kind of roll it back before setting the fingers on the ground. Beautiful. Inhale up. Exhale, we're going to tip to the left. Let's keep the left hand on the inside of the leg so it can help us. As we press into the leg with the arm, we find a lever to open this right shoulder and reach overhead. Some of you can peace finger around the big toe, little thumbs up sign, and you can reach over and grab it, but make sure we're not grabbing like this. That's a different stretch. So make sure that the right upper arm is close to the right ear. Again, but don't collapse the head either. So let's keep the head looking straight off to the side here and stack the shoulders in this pose. In fact, pull that right elbow back. Okay, now sink the right sit bone into the ground. Next inhale, come on up. And exhale, we'll come over the other side. So take hold of the leg. Wherever you take hold of the leg, just make sure the hand's on the inside so we can have that lever. So notice how you push into the leg. You get a sense of moving in the opposite direction. Okay, so we start to slide down and reach overhead. Notice the difference between sides. Appreciate the difference between sides. Maybe we get our thumb. As long as we can stack our shoulders. Once you're here, just breathe into all this space we've created. It's kind of a feedback loop. So breathe into the space. The breath creates more space. Now sink the left sit bone into the ground. Next inhale, we'll rise. Let's bring arms out to a T. We're going to come over to the left foot, kind of scissor ourselves over there. So we're going to reach forward with the right hand. We're going to reach back with the left hand. See my left hand back here. So we can square the chest up over the leg. If you need to bring the legs in a little bit, please feel free to do so. And come into a fold. Once we're in our fold, we can bring that left hand around. Maybe we hold on to the foot. Maybe we walk the hands past the foot. Maybe we get the right cheek to the outside of the left leg. Finish the exhale. Walk the hands in. Let's just get them just behind the knee. So fingertips are in line with the top of the knee. Let's bring the elbows in close to the body. Lean over that leg. And we're going to push into the ground and lift the hips. Maybe we're going to lift the feet too. And lower down, give them a little shake. All right, let's square ourselves up over the right leg. So make it twist around. So we're going to reach forward with the left hand, reach back with the right hand. Here it is back here along the ground. So we square up our chest over the knee. And then we come forward. Once we find our pose, find our fold, then we can bring the right hand back into play. And keep crawling the fingers past the foot. You can hold on to the foot. You can hold on to the ankle if this is where you're at. There's so many places in the journey that you could be. Now, wherever you are, let's make sure we're sinking the left sit bone into the ground. Maybe the left cheek gets to the outside of the right knee. Wherever we are, we're breathing long. Enjoying the flow between the polar opposites of empty breath, empty lungs and full lungs. Let's walk the hands in. Let's keep oriented over that leg as the hands come about mid-thigh. Let's hug the elbows in, close to the body. Again, lean forward as we press into the hands. Hips come off the ground. Maybe feet come off the ground for 3 and 2 and 1. Let's shake out the legs. Sway the toes, bounce the knees. And we're going to make our way down onto our backs. Once you get here, just going to feel out how your body wants to move. You know what you're feeling right now. You know what your body's asking for, and you know what your mind's asking for. They're part of the same spectrum. So if your mind is asking for a certain type of release, and the body's like, just test it out and see if the body will go with it. And if it doesn't, you can stop. Try something else. The idea is to get everything working together. It's a big myth that we've kind of made this dividing line between mind and body. I thought Descartes. And it is a myth. They are different expressions of the same thing. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's hug the right knee into the chest. Now we're going to bring the right knee across and come into a twist. Reach out with the right hand. We can look out over the right hand as we draw the right knee closer to the ground. And then we're going to inhale the right hip down toward the left heel. And as we exhale, we're going to soften into the twists, particularly on the left side body, because we're resting on the left side body. So it has a tendency to tense up to support us. Just test out melting through the left side body. And then let's come on back to center. Hug the knee into the chest. Let's bring the left one to meet it. And now let's keep a hold of the left knee as we extend the right. And we'll draw the left knee across. So we're resting on the outer right hip. And then we want to bring this left shoulder back down to the ground. So reach out with the left hand. And then push the left hip away from you with every inhale. Breathe it long. And then melt into your exhale. One more breath here. And let's come on back to center. Let's take a little pedal with our feet. Bend and straighten. However you want to release. Getting ready for our shavasana. Last pose before we go into shavasana. Let's go ahead and take a bridge pose so we can find the new opening we created through the standing sequences. See if that assists us in our held bridge. So let's again snuggle the shoulder blades under the heart. Take a nice big exhale so we press the lower back down, but the tailbone lifts, and let's keep the tailbone lifting and leading up into our bridge. Maybe we can interlace the fingers, roll onto the shoulder head, press the back of the head toward the top of the mat. So we can grow long through the neck. Scoop the tailbone up toward the sky. And then, after you get that scoop, see if you can soften through the inner part of the glutes. Okay, you're going to stay firm through the outer part of the glutes. You're going to grow your knees long. We're going to try to keep from clenching the glutes. Press it into the heels.
If you got the hands interlaced, let's release the hands. In fact, if we can, let's bend the elbows and let's sparkle out through the hands. Press the backs of the arms into the ground as we start to lower. Let's lift the heels so we can get that tuck as we curl the spine back into the ground. Lovely. All right, sway it. Let's rock the knees. Release however you'd like to release. And find your way to your resting pose. I think I'm going to use my bolster for this final bit. Give myself a little supported butterfly. Whatever space you choose, whatever shape you choose for your final resting pose, just make sure that it is resting. Make sure our chin can tuck so we have no wrinkles in the back of our neck. Let's make sure that all the muscles of the face can release, the throat can release, the shoulder blades are supporting the heart, cradling it. We can soften through our hands, release the feet. And we can breathe fully and mindfully through the pose. We tend to pull ourselves into this state of anxious productivity. Let's allow ourselves to counter that just for a few moments. And as you settle in, then release the breath as well. No pull, no deepening, just letting it go where it's going to go. And we just ride. Before we start to move, and now you can stay in shavasana as long as you want, but when you're ready to come out, we'll start to deepen the breath. I know it wasn't very long. My time got a little bit away from me. Sometimes you get so in the moment, you lose track of the progression of moments. But before we start to move, let's go ahead and inhale. And we're going to exhale through the lips. Try to make it twice as long as that inhale. Let's do that again. Inhale through the nose.
slow exhale through the lips. Two more like that. Nice. Let's start to move fingers, toes. Sway the head. If you're in a butterfly like me, let's go ahead and bring the knees up toward the sky. And then like reverse it. So lean the knees together, walk the feet out to the edges of the mat. Press the knees together. And start to move your way into a curl on your right side. If you want to take a stretch, go ahead and do that first. And when you're ready, curl onto the right side. We'll take the left hand around behind the body to give lots of space to the heart. The heart hangs out on our left side, so I'm just going to give it a little extra. All right, let's bring that left hand back around so we can use it to push ourselves on up to our Sukhasana, our easy pose, our pose of ease. Find your comfortable seat with a nice tall spine. Find your breath in the shape. On an inhale, let's open up. Arms, palms up to the sky, thumbs pull behind the body. As we exhale, bring the hands to heart center. We'll finish our practice with our Om and our 3 Shantis. So let's take a big inhale. Exhale through the lips. Inhale to begin. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's tuck the chin on our exhale. In honor of the spirit of life and love and peace that flows around us and through us and dwells within us. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this morning to flow together. Hope the rest of your week goes well and you can flow through the rest of the week with the same kind of mindfulness and appreciation for wherever you're at. And I hope to see you again. Next week is probably I'm not going to say last week, but the Flow Together Wednesdays are going to get a little more sporadic as I move outside for some of the locals. So, but if we do get a lot of rain here, so if it's raining, I'll be back inside. So keep your eye out for ads, for posts. I'll post them here and on Facebook. And again, I hope you have a beautiful day, rest of your day. Namaste.